vibes.
Yeah. Let's see what Papa Bright talking about.
Yeah. What up, Q Sci-Fi? Open the door, man.
Papa Bright! Papa Bright! Come on in! Oh, man, y'all don't understand. Let me see.
My grandson.
Y'all don't understand. This is Papa Bright. This is Garfield's Bright. This is surrogate dad for me at my Howard days. Man, Lord, you too, brother. You too, brother. You too.
Oh, man.
So I'm here.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Garfield Bright Sr. The legacy of the legacy that I'm chronicling. History. History doesn't start today, but it does. History doesn't end yesterday, but it does. But today, this man right here is responsible. A surrogate parent of mine took me under his wing when I was his son was my best friend in college. This is Papa Bright. Been Papa Bright. Haven't seen him since February of 1993. When I see him, it's just like, what's up, Dad? We're gonna do some great things. But you're gonna hear about this prolific man and why his son is such a prolific man. So if you love Garfield from Shy, you're gonna love the reality and the reason that there is a Garfield from Shy. But y'all keep watching. But check out this situation. So show me this float. He's gonna do a little something before we get into it. You know, y'all all know everyone. I like my libations.
This is old school.
It's old school.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put 3 ice cubes in the shot glass, and I'm gonna float it. Yeah, that's quite a good drink, but they're floating. They're off the bottom.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
a good solid drink of Crown Royal Black, my friend. And we're going to toast to you, each other.
Yes,
To you,
sir.
brother.
Yes, sir.
It was wonderful to see you. To everyone out there, here's a grand toast to you.
Urban Wall Street on location. Keep watching.
And I'm halfway to
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I was telling E that, this is part of my, when I graduate, that's when I'm gonna cut it again.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna cut it.
You'll be clean faced
Just,
again.
I might not. By the time I get there, I probably might have invested so much time and just let it be what it
He's
is.
looking like a professor now.
Is that what I'm looking like?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm looking the opposite of a professor.
He actually
Like a professor.
I look like
Artistic
somebody was calling me a
professor.
mad scientist lately.
Mad scientist.
Because I got this picture, Earl, show that picture.
Oh, the one that we
Yeah,
created?
information is physical.
I'm gonna show him right now.
I got this campaign that I'm coming out with.
Yeah.
It's called Information is Physical. That's like the name of everything that I put out in intellectual property or anything I put out creatively.
Yeah.
That's the branding from Garfield. That's under my mantra of information is physical. That's my new. So I got a picture that I did. I just happened to be taking a picture in my room, a selfie, late at night, and it was like my light is not light in my room. It's kind of darker, and so it was like a shadowy feel. But it was not. It was fly. Like this whole part, you couldn't even see what I had on. It was just black, but my face was clear. And it was like my hair was doing this thing. It was like, wow, like a scientist, but it was real symmetrical and it looked fly like a model.
So here I am in the home of Garfield Bright Sr., legacy, responsible for my best friend, multi-platinum singer, doctoral candidate for 2017, Garfield Roosevelt Bright Jr., prolific lead singer from the group Shy. You know the song, If I Ever Fall in Love, Baby I'm Yours, Comforter, The Place Where You Belong, and the list goes on and on and on. So we're sitting here, and we're gonna talk to these gentlemen, quickly, because we've been talking all about Garfield's legacy, from multi-platinum racks to doctoral plaques. When you do your thing, traveling the world, but you realize, there's something missing. As intelligent as I am, I'm gonna go get that same structure. And the same foundation and structure and credit and respect he gave to his craft of singing, he gave that same credit and respect to his mind by going back and getting his education. And because his commitment to that and the excellence contained therein, university reached out to him. We want you. We're gonna pay for you to come and share that knowledge, and we're gonna feed some more knowledge into you so you can feed that world. So without further ado, I'm going to get into, I'm Mr. Urban Wall Street. We're here on location. And this is here, Mr. Garfield Bright. From multi-platinum racks to doctoral stacks. To my left, you see Papa Bright. To my right, my brother, G Bright. G&E's back in the building. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
Doing good, Earl. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed to be here. So first and foremost, we've been talking and we've been broadcasting live. And this project is really dear in my heart, man, to be able to capture this excellence that has been manifesting for over the past 20 years through my brother Garfield Bright. But Papa Garfield, Let's talk about it, man. Your son right here,
Yeah.
1992.
Oh, yeah. I remember
His voice changed the world
Well, yeah.
for a lot of people.
I'm fortunate to have been in that experience with him, as you were, as a matter of fact. And I've watched this thing from the very beginning till today. And I know that I'm blessed beyond measure to be the parent of this young man here, because he's done some things that you wouldn't expect anyone to be able to do. And he surprised me on a couple of occasions, but he's got the gray matter and he's done a good job. And I'm proud of it.
Now, I know, I remember a conversation at your home back in Reston, Virginia, when,
Yes.
we was coming on, and she and I, we ran out there with the little red ghost that I had. We made it out to Reston. And you said, you was looking at your son, and at that time, I can remember some of just the imagery in your face of admiration and adulation, because you've seen him like, wow, like you said, I used to sing and was in groups, and we never took it there, and just seeing your son really with this song on the charts burning up, and everywhere you turn, people using it in jingles and soap operas. Heck, I was watching an episode of Martin the other day, and the daggone song came Martin singing, "Ooh, Gina," and I was like, wow, that's prolific. The song, we have to understand that Martin was, a major show.
Yeah.
So many major opportunities, that came, being a part of the Arsenio Hall show. I remember just the excitement in G's face, like, we on Arsenio, the hands up. And
I was there.
So what was it like sitting in the audience? And I'm going to ask G, what was that moment like? I'm going to ask you what was the moment like sitting in the audience. And G, what was that moment like being in there and then being in that moment and then knowing my dad's in the audience? Dad?
Well, the first thing was that the way we were treated, we got the raw treatment from the record label. They came and picked us up at the house, took us to the airport, put us on the first class plane, flew us to LA, and put us in a first class hotel just so we could be there. And we met Arsenio. He came out and talked with us and did all the preliminary stuff that he needed to do. And I got a t-shirt and a bathrobe and all that stuff, picked up some stuff out of the green room. And it was just a heck of an experience for a parent, because I never had that experience before myself. So I've lived vicariously through him in a number of ways. And that's why I'm so proud of it, because he's fulfilling my dream.
Right.
That's the dream that I had for Garfield Sr. And my son is doing that.
That's a beautiful thing. My brother,
That's wild.
you were there in that moment. You're on Arsenio. A year ago, I'm looking at Arsenio trying to figure, what I'm doing next year. Like, and then, I'm on Arsenio. My dad's out in the audience. We got a #1 smash record. Oh, my Lord, is this really happening to my life? I'm only 23 years old. Is this real? That moment.
Yeah, it was so like big to it was like little.
Yeah.
It's like when you get real hungry, you finally get food and then you ain't even hungry. It was like the moment was so huge that I couldn't even like process it in its hugeness like that. So what I did was just default to making it be just regular in my own mind to navigate it. So when I was out there, and I think that ended up being my mechanism for the whole time we were in the shot. Like, it was so magnanimous and just so huge and just crazy, bigger than life, that to deal with that as a person who just was that young with no frame of reference for that, I just had to just make that be normal instantly in my brain, to just navigate it in a normal way. Like, because otherwise I'd have been like the frog, the little cricket that,
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, so I just acted like this is just extension of Howard, and this is just what's supposed to be next, and here I am on Arsenio, and hey, that's Arsenio. I got a dope bathrobe, and I made it be like my normal. It was like all I knew at that point, so it was like, but knowing underneath all that it was bigger than life. But I just couldn't allow myself to stay in that head as I was floating through it. Otherwise, it would have been too much. So
You know what was good? When you all sat down and did the interview with Arsenio, and he asked you guys to take him to the commercial.
You did Lord I Come?
And you did Lord I've Come. That was awesome. I mean, as a person in the audience sitting there watching that, awesome. Because that's one of my favorite songs anyway.
We kind of like, we didn't realize how much we prepared ourselves when there was that kind of a moment. Because our whole style was spent in the Fine Arts Building practicing a cappella songs as our singing practice songs. So when we did get on a place like Arsenio, and he was like, take it to the break.
Yeah.
And other artists might have been searching for like material to do in that moment or make up a little arrangement. We had like acapella songs on deck. Like, what y'all wanna do? Lord, I come, all right. And then just, you know, we just already had that for those types of moments, you know? So it wasn't no nervousness, what we gonna do? It was like, we could do everything we have acapella if we want. I mean, one time in Boston, the power got messed up and the mics got cut off. And we did a whole concert in Boston acapella. Had we not been able to do that, that should have been a disaster. But because we was able to do that, it was more than a success. Like the people were able to feel us on a deep tissue level because there was no music for the whole show. But our arrangements were so acapella oriented anyways that it was engaging still. And we gave the fans what they wanted, but it was even better than it would have been with the music. So we always had that kind of a thing. So I didn't feel overwhelmed in the performance aspect.
I've seen you guys handle adversity. Your monitor went out when you were leading the song one time on stage. You had done the sound check already. I don't know where we were. I don't know if it was Connecticut or New York. I can't remember the exact spot we were, but I know the monitors went out. Maybe it was on Jay Leno. That's where it was.
Oh, yeah?
It was Jay Leno's show.
Okay.
The monitors went out and you couldn't hear yourself.
Okay.
And had not you guys prepared yourself like you did during your rehearsals, etc., you wouldn't have survived that piece because you couldn't hear yourself sing. But as an audience participant, I heard it loud and clearly, and it was beautiful.
Well, that was cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now here's a question. Over the 20 years, you've watched your son.
Yes.
You watched your son grow to a young man.
Yeah.
And then you watched this young man become an incredible grown man.
Yeah.
What's one of your greatest, when you look at your son and you observe his life and you know where he is and what he's learned and how he's grown from those learning, what's one thing you think his experience in the industry at that earlier age, how do you think it helped shape and navigate him to be at the point where he is in his health, in his life now?
Well, you know, he was always a very, I would say, astute person. He catches on very fast. That's what my mother used to say about me when I was growing up. You know, instead of saying he's smart, he caught on fast. But he caught on fast, and he realized the game that the record industry is, the recording industry is early. And as a result of that, he was depressed a lot of times when I would be around him because the reality of what was happening was right on him. He was seeing it face to face, and he was learning as he went. But the good news is the group was so good until they overcame all those barriers. But the bottom line was he's made, everything he's done has made me just a proud father as I can be. I don't even think of one particular incident. Yes, I do. I can think of a particular incident. We were riding in a limousine from a show they had done in Connecticut. He was down. I mean, he was heavily down. I didn't understand why. I didn't say anything to him because, as his father, I've learned that when he's in that kind of a place, let him be, and he'll work his way out of it. I never really found out what was wrong that evening, but what I do know is that his devotion to that music became so very obvious to me that night. That was the night that I really, really realized how much he loved what he was doing, because the least little thing would turn him upside down. And that's how I knew that it was important to him. And that's what I noticed in his recording life. But one thing I can say though, when he would go, like, he went to Australia twice in 1 month. When those kinds of things occur, or he's everywhere, all over the world. When your progeny is in that kind of a situation, traveling all over the world, entertaining people for profit, literally, that's the lifestyle of the rock star. It's almost it's surreal. It's almost unbelievable. But I know that's the lifestyle that he's lived. And it's the lifestyle that I wanted to live. So I was glad for him and happy for him and happy for me too.
It's a beautiful thing.